Hi, I'm Jeanette. I'm the backroom designer. For stopping by. Tonight we are going to make a Merry Christmas Buffalo Gnome Wreath Kit. Decided at the very last minute to a kit. Been our number one sign seller for us ever since we started selling signs. So a couple people had asked me on a couple different signs whether we turn them into a kit. I asked if you did a poll whether people wanted a full kit or a ribbon kit and sign. So last minute I decided to turn it into a wreath kit, and here we are. So I had to do some ordering, so I don't have everything for the wreath kits available. They will be on my Etsy page tonight. If you'd like to go ahead and order, I'll have the stuff here in about a week. Now, the wreath kit that I am going to make tonight is a custom order for someone, so it will have a little bit more, a little bit different stuff, but it'll just trade out a couple ribbons. So what we get in the wreath kit is the Merry Christmas Gnome sign. It's an 8x12 metal sign with the gnomes. He's so cute. You'll get 25 pipe cleaners, fuzzy sticks, whatever you want to call them. You'll get the infamous gnome, gnome ribbon. It's 2.5 inches wide. And then we're going to pair that with the Merry Christmas of 2.5 inches. And the two that I could not believe that I could not get this time of year are the argyles in the red and the gray. So I will have a couple kits that have the argyle. That'll be like an extra thing. I did order gray diagonal plaid and red and black buffalo check to go in the kit. So what I'm making tonight will have just a couple different colors, or patterns should say. The colors will be the same. We're going to use gray metallic mesh. You'll see that here. I already started bundling. So we're going to do the Woodland method. And then we have a 10-inch red with the black border. I love the black border meshes. It just brings a little bit different texture to it. And then you get your frame and all your ties. Whether your ties are going to be on there is whether or not I have time. So you get a 14-inch frame. You have 10 ties on the outside, and you have 8 on the inside. And then there's enough pipe cleaners to do the crisscross in the back, so you have something to mount your sign to. You can also add embellishments to your wreath and make it your own. The way that I'm teaching to you, by no means is the only way that you can do it. You can do the regular ruffles if you so choose. If you want to add a poof under it and make it a little bit bigger wreath, that's totally up to you. The kit is just a foundation, and then you can add what you want if you want to add anything to it. And then as far as I will be adding 6 extra yards of ribbon to allow you to make a bow, and that will come in the diagonal gray and white stripe and the red and black buffalo. And then I also have this glitter. It's called a snowdrift, and it's kind of looks like it's been drugged, snowdrift, and it's got white glitter. So this will be the in addition to the kit for your ribbon. Okay? So like I said, when I get to the ribbon part, there'll be a couple extra ribbons because this one is a custom order for somebody. So tonight's the first night of YouTube. Yay! Maybe I won't have to watch what I say so much. So I'm always like forgetting to, hey, by the way, share this to your friends and your family, your coworkers, and whoever else you can think of, all your groups you belong to, and share, share, share. I love saying share. we like to share. We like to share our love and our friends and our cookies and, well, maybe not our cookies, but whatever. Because on YouTube we can say share and we can say subscribe. I would love for you to subscribe, and don't forget about clicking the little bell and click all so you can get notifications of when I'm going to go live, because trust me, I've got some things up my sleeve that you're going to want to see. So, what else? We have like over 700 followers on Facebook, which is phenomenal. Now let's get them all over to for YouTube. You know, the YouTube is a different kind of platform. I'm still going to do Facebook Lives. I'm going to do at least one of each a week, maybe more depending on my time. Right now I'm on leave from work, but I'll be going back to work in a few weeks. So let's get all those followers over to YouTube. When we get up to 500 followers, you guys did it, and I handed out a prize over on Facebook. So now I want to see if you guys can do it on YouTube as well. So when we get up to 500 followers on YouTube, subscribers, sorry. This is a custom sign from us. If you guys haven't seen it, it is in October we wear pink, and I happen to have some of that ribbon that everybody likes. It's the 2.5 inch on both. It is the pink Have Hope and Be Brave in the leopard print, cheetah print. I always get them confused. The animal print in the ribbon. See? And it goes with the sign. So that will be for the chosen one, the winner, because I can say that here, at 500 subscribers. So make sure that you share, okay? Lastly, the next kit. I've already been thinking about the next kit. I've been thinking about all these kits in my head, and then I just have to sit down and like get everything organized and see how much I have to order. You know, I'm not Lori from Hardworking Mom, and I can't like throw 50 kits out there all at once. But so I'm gonna start out small. But I am gonna start out thinking ahead what we can do. If you were with me last time, I did a pixie wreath, which is a very small wreath, but still full. It goes on an 8-inch frame, but ends up still being 19 inches, and it's so cute. I don't have it up here. But anyway, I want to give you a little clue to what the next live and kit will be. And if you know me, I like glitter. So I recently released a few days ago this sign. It's got a little bit of a border on it, but this sign has a shape to it. It sparkle like a snowflake. So this sign will only be available with this kit. It's roughly 5x7, and it's going to go on a pixie wreath. Now, I tried out the pixie wreath to see what it would look like, but I'm not going to show you. So, because I'll have to make it again. But this is the bow. So, it's got like a lot of glitter. So, if you don't like glitter, I'm sorry, but I do. So, and I make what I like. So, this is the bow, and this is the sign, and it will go on a pixie wreath. That is also full of glitter. So, that will be next time. So, if you're interested in another kit, or interested in just seeing what a pixie wreath kit will look like, I don't think I've ever seen a pixie wreath kit. Yeah, I've seen pixie wreaths. Katie from Crazy Maisie, she does pixie kits in her sleep. But I'm going to do a pixie wreath kit. And this is the only way you can get the sign big. You can get a big sign, but you can only get this one with the kit. Okay, let's start. Got the business out of the way. Hi, Lynn. Thank you for stopping by. So we're going to do a woodland ruffle. Those of you, maybe if you're new to crafting, don't know what a woodland ruffle, it's kind of like a ruffle, a roll and a ruffle all together. So what you do, these are cut at 20 inches. It's 10-inch mess. It's 2 rolls, 1 roll of the red and 1 roll of the gray metallic, silver metallic, whatever you want to call it. all cut at 20 inches. If you cut it right at 20 inches, you can do it all in one roll because you need 18. 10 on the outside, 8 on the inside. So, for the Woodland ruffle, did you switch cameras? Floyd. So he's going to switch cameras so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So we're going to roll on one end, just a couple. You can use a clip chip. I just use clothespins. That way when they break, it's not no big deal. And you roll a couple on this side. And then you ruffle in the middle. It makes a butterfly. So you can put them down this way or down this way. Down this way is going to show you more of your roll. And down this way is going to show you more of your ruffle. So it's totally up to you which way you want to put it in there. I like to show the top. So that's how I put them in. These were just a couple while I was waiting to go live. I went ahead and was rolling. If you have problems, I don't know how big to roll my rolls. Some people will use the core of another roll of mesh. Just kind of roll it over a couple times and pull it out. Now, I tend to make my rolls a little tighter than what that is. So you can still do it that way and then ruffle it up the middle. Still works the same way. Some people have a hard time rolling. Don't know how to gauge what size to make their rolls. Me, it's as long as your ends are sticking in, you want your ends to stick inside of your ruffle or your roll down here. You don't want your little points sticking out like that. Other than that, you're good. Now, after I'm going to do another one, and then I'm going to show you a speed way to do them all. Okay. So you can go around and around and around and get dizzy. Oh, this one. So I gotta change that one. I forgot we're alternating. Red on the bottom, and the next one should be gray on top. I do that a lot when I get talking, and I screw up. You don't want them, on a regular roll, you want them kind of like button up against each other. On these, you don't. Or it looks like a hot mess. Looks like Mom took too much Aquanet and sprayed her hair. So this one should have been a gray down and then a red on top. Okay. So when you get your ribbon tails in your kit, they're going to come folded up in 12-inch folds. I've wrapped them around an acrylic board. That's my quilter's ruler. That's 12 inches long, and that's how I know how long to cut my tails. And then you just slide your scissors in there. Now this is kind of thick canvas ribbon, so you don't want to stack too many on top of each other. What I'm doing right now is dovetailing. So I've only got about 3 stacked on top of each other. So what I'm doing is I'm taking them and I'm folding them, and then I'm going to cut them on the fold. If you cut them on the edge, you're going to get a point, and you don't want that. So you're just going to cut it on the fold and get a nice little V right there. Now you can cut them at a more shallow fold or a shallow angle, and you won't get as deep a V. That's totally up to you how you do that. I like mine a little more pronounced. And when you do this, have a container, have a garbage can sitting by, because you will make a mess. I get banished from my husband's craft room because I'm always covered in glitter. It's a glitter-free zone over there. Of course, some of the projects I pick make it a little worse. There's our red. And we're going to pair that one with our gnomes. Our gnomes. I just love the gnomes. I bought some 4-inch gnome ribbon. I've never worked with 4-inch gnome ribbon before in my life. I've never worked with 4-inch, no, or any 4-inch ribbon. I love gnome ribbon. I didn't like gnomes till this year. I don't know why. I just kind of gravitated towards them. I have some stuffed gnomes to go in a wreath. These are 2.5 inches. These are a lighter weight canvas. I like canvas ribbon because it keeps its shape really well. Linen's not too bad. You always want to use a wired ribbon when you do wreaths, because like gross grain or satin, even a wired satin just isn't. One time I use wired satin is when I'm doing like a cemetery arrangement. Now most people will pick the colors of the ribbon from their sign. Everybody starts with their sign, and that's how they pick their ribbon and their mesh and all that. I usually go backwards since we make signs. Here's our Christmas. And I usually go backwards and I pick all my stuff that goes in my wreath, and I'm like, okay, now I gotta go have a sign to go with it. Because to me, the ribbon and the other stuff you go in the wreath is just as important as the sign. Sometimes you don't even need to put a sign on a wreath. No kidding. I watched Kara last night from Kara's Creations, and she did a black and white pumpkin wreath. Now, it was pretty. No sign. The pumpkins were the highlight of the game. It was gorgeous. This time of year, I keep bouncing around from doing Christmas, did a few Halloween, did some harvest. Might do just a general wreath. This is the time of year you can afford to do that, because people, in the crafting world, you're always doing things 3 months in advance. Or at least buying the stuff. Because if you snooze, you lose. figure. So you can do a wreath with just 2 ribbons of all, do 1 2.5 inch and 1 1.5 inch. I've seen when I first started doing wreaths, I thought you're supposed to put like 4 different colors of ribbons in your ties. So I had like 2 2.5s and 2 1.5s in each tie. That didn't last very long. Somebody got a hold of me and went, "What are you doing?" I said, "You can't do that." How many people are there? So where's everybody from? And are you a crafter or wreath maker? Okay, so what we're going to do is get my extra hand. I actually got a 3rd hand here, and it's called a bodabra. I actually didn't own one until a month ago. I'm like, I have a little bit of arthritis in my hands, so I'm like, I need a bodabra. He's like, okay, you have a bow maker. And I'm like, but I need something to stick my my stuff in. So you can do it the way I was doing it, with chip clips and everything going around, and you can make all your bundles. Still need a clip to hold the other end of the ruffle, or the tube. But Lori from Hardworking Mom, she does it this way now. And it is really a lot faster. I made my pixie wreath in 45 minutes. I was like, wow. Yes, it is a smaller wreath, but you take this. Here's your large piece of glitter. Take your woodland ruffle and just stick it in there. It's not going anywhere. Except for it should be on top, so we'll just change it out.
Oh, there we go with the happy accidents again.
Oh, happy accidents. We have happy accidents. We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents. So you just grab on, take it out. Push this one in. Push that one in. Just push it down. Now, here's where I have happy accidents. This one's going to go with this one, and this one's going to go with this one. So I have to keep them separate, or else I'll... So my gray gnomes are going to go on top of my red mesh. That's how I kind of think about that. So what you want to do is, these are 12-inch ties. We call them ties. Your ribbon ties. So you want to line them up, and you fold them in half to find your center. So here's your center, and you're just going to make it a little pinch in the middle, and then you're going to make a birdie. Like that. So your birdie brings your ruffle or your little pinch out so where it doesn't get shoved in all down at once. Now we're going to shove it down in there. But trust me, it's the way you're supposed to do it. Or else you're going to go digging your ties out of your wreath here in a little bit when you're trying to fluff it around. So then you just take the entire bundle and stick it in there, and you're done, other than some fluffing. So I don't have anything extra to put in the middle of my ties. Sometimes if you have something else that you want to put in the middle, I won't break these off yet. I break them off about 1/4 of an inch higher than where you have it tied, and I just bend it over. You don't want to cut it off all the way down, because I've been the victim of having them come undyed. So what we do on the outside is that we'll take our ribbon tails, oops, and we'll point them all to the outside. And then the ones on top, we're going to make a tulip. We're going to do a crisscross. So here's what you do on the outside. Have them point out, because that's where you're going to see them the most. Especially if you put a lot of stuff on your wreaths. I personally don't, because you don't see the mesh or the ribbon or anything else. So I might embellish them a little bit. That's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and put the ribbon tails on the ones that I've already done. And then we'll get the hopping. Now I kind of, mesh does fray, and the more you mess with it, the more it will fray. Now these are Ginger scissors. If you're any kind of wreath maker or crafter or sewer, you know what Ginger scissors are, especially if you're a sewer. And I don't cut my ribbon or my fuzzy sticks with my Ginger scissors. They are sharp. They will snip your finger when they're sharp. And you can sharpen them, because they're really good scissors. They're made in Italy or Germany or, I forget. Italy.
With that name, I would have guessed Germany.
Yeah, I would have guessed Germany too. So, finish these up. And if you wanted to put, just because I'm alternating my mesh doesn't mean that you have to. Even if you buy it, when you buy a kit, does not mean, because I'm going to have instructions in your kit of how to cut your tails, what's for your ribbon or for your bow, and, how to put, whether you do a regular ruffle or you do a woodland ruffle. 2 options. But, you don't have to do it that way. If you want to do it, you want to put it all silver around and then put all red on top, or vice versa, that's totally up to you. Oh, you got your signs, Lynn? Great. Which signs did you get? I don't remember. Girl, we've been sending out signs left and right. Okay, so now we're all caught up. So now we'll do the remaining ones in bundles. Can you go into Etsy and activate that listing? Do you know how? Kit. It'll show as a listing. Okay. So if you're here and you wondered how much the kit was, several of you asked me what the kit was, and I said I wouldn't announce it because I did have to figure out how much all the ribbon and the stuff was. So the kit with the extra 6 yards of ribbon for you to make a bow is going to be $47. I ordered enough stuff for 6 kits. We'll see how those go. If those go over great, I'll order some more stuff to make some more kits. So I'd already made a listing and just deactivated it until I had the live. So my husband's going to go in there now and activate the listing. So I have 6 kits available. I might have a couple that might pop in there with some different colored ribbon than what's listed. And I will list and put a picture in there if I do that. Because there's just so many great colors that will go with that sign. And I have so much of some stuff, and we'll just see how it goes. I've never offered a kit, so we'll just go with the flow. So if you haven't done so, if you wouldn't mind sharing and caring and subscribing and clicking the little bell, I'd appreciate it. People who know me know that I'm an over communicator. I like to share the information. If something's coming new that I want to share with you, oh, I made a rhyme. I want to get it out to you. We have so many people in the crafting world. We have people that are just crafters. Maybe they just make it for gifts. We have people that are wreath makers and they sell them. Maybe they do craft shows. I've not done one of those yet. COVID kind of put a damper on all that this year.
Glenn got the Happy Fall with the Scarecrow and the Merry Christmas with the Snowman.
I remember that. Because you were the first one that got the snowman. Are you making those to sell or are you making those to keep, Lynn? Or to give? Make sure your ruffles are pointing in and your ribbons are pointing out. Until you get a bunch of stuff on there, they kind of want to do their own thing. But you are boss. You make them listen. Oh, did I do it again? No, I didn't. Okay. I have a bad habit when I'm alternating colors, when I'm talking, to have oopses. And when you cut your mesh, plan to use it when you cut it. Don't have it, piled on the table and you're going to move it around a bunch, because you will cause it to fray a ton if you move it a lot. It's going to fray, no matter what. If you see how I'm using that extra Bodabra and you like that, use your 40% off Michael's coupon and get one. I think it maybe cost me $12 or something. Well worth it, especially if you see you can do it all at once. Just pay attention to your pattern. I get to yakking and I forget which pattern I'm going in. That's why I have one day I ended up with one of this bundle and one of that bundle in a together bundle, and yeah, I didn't figure it out for a while. Now this wreath form is just from Dollar Tree. I order them by the cases. Once in a while, you might get one with a cracked frame. Just zip tie it. It'll hold. Now see, I didn't do the little birdie with that. And when you put them in the tie and you tie it real tight, you're kind of fighting with them to get the pupper out of it. That's why you do that. I like red. I like red, white, and black. Let's see. Oh, here's a good example. I don't know if you can see it. The little wires coming out my ribbon tail. You don't want to cut it off because that means is this going to kind of keep coming out. You just want to kind of fold that over up right next to the end of the ribbon, and that way it won't come out no more. If you need to just trim the little fuzzies off, then you're good to go. Always have a good self-healing mat and a rotary cutter. I use just a Fisker's rotary cutter. You can change the blades in them when they get dull. If you do a lot of cutting with them, they do get dull. I make sure that I only have one for material and one for, Deco mesh and burlap and all that other stuff. Same with my scissors and stuff like that. But your healing mat, your self-healing mat, and your rotary cutter. Now some people will try, especially if you use burlap. Burlap is a beast of its own. Some people will use a wood burner to cut it because it's got like fibers and you don't want to inhale that stuff at all. It's nasty. I've never used straight burlap in a wreath. I've used poly jute. Now see, I stuck my lip. That's what you not want. So if you can't stick it in there, I just snip it off. It keeps coming out. So guess what? Maybe I'll roll it back up. He about got chopped off. Sometimes it's because you're not rolling your ties or your rolls tight enough. That's why sometimes I don't like to use the tube to make your rolls. So no matter what color of ribbon you get in a wreath kit or that you choose, the methods are the same of how you do it. Lost my ruffle there. Now you can buy work wreath forms and elevated work wreath forms. The elevated ones go like really high and your wreath ends up being like gigantic. Yes, they are gorgeous. And I bought a elevated work wreath form once. And there's no way I was going to ship it. Because it would have cost a lot to ship it. So, maybe at some point. But right now, we're just going to stick with the little low ones. I think they're a little weird to work on myself. Like how we're getting going. Sparkle. Sparkle and glitter. Is Angela here? Is Angela here? Chexter? Is Lindy? Is Lindy here?
I don't know.
Oh, you can't tell? Okay. I'm afraid tonight that some of my followers think I was on Facebook, and I kept stating, no, I'm going to YouTube tonight. Especially the girl that she wanted me to watch me make her wreath. See how much faster this goes if you bundle everything?